Hello and welcome to episode 3 of the From the Floor to Fintech. This is a podcast all talking about how to get into the fintech space without necessarily coming from the fintech space, or if you're actually coming from the non-traditional fintech space and you really want to get into the fintech space, this podcast is for you. Yeah, without any hassle, without any bustle, I'll just go straight right to it in terms of what we're going to discuss today on episode 3. So, as usual, tell a friend to tell a friend, like and share for this channel, because this is the next big thing on everything to do with fintech in and around the UK and across the globe. So today our topic will be very simple and direct. We'll basically be talking about how technology has actually enabled the current era to move forward, and I look at it from a very basic opportunity point of view, and some of them I'll leave it out for you out there to guess about it. You can imagine, as simple as it is, how we used to use cash before, just the normal exchange of money for service, and now that has been moved into a digital era where you are supposed to either use a card payment, a mobile wallet, a credit card, or very interestingly, crypto or Bitcoin kind of payments on the crypto assets. You can see how that has evolved over a period of time, and who knew we could have been here at this point in time. Something more interesting, I really want to speak about it. How money has changed to what it is today. It's no longer a physical thing, but it's more of a commodity that is actually moving to a centralized assets that someone can be able to pay and interestingly get tracked back end. That's how interesting money has moved from physical good to a digital asset. I'll give a case in point. For example, I'm able to make a payment as usual. Today I'm also on that railway station, waiting for my railway station for my train to go to my destination. And this is my favorite place. I always do my podcast. So there are two options for me actually to make a payment when I'm taking my train. The first option, which is the traditional option, you can guess it, is either to use cash. Yeah. So you can either use a coin, you can use a physical note, and you can make the transaction. Fantastic, yeah. Number two, you can either make a payment using card. And how do you do this? You go onto the screen of the app. It can either be a mobile-based app, web app, or from the physical locations where you can actually be able to go and basically type in the destination of where you're going and pay using either a card. Just by NFC technology, which is a near field convergence technology, you just tap in your card and your transaction is deducted automatically. How cool is that? Who knew that one day physical cash could be transformed in such a way it can just come automatically out of your digital account? In this case is an bank account. And how else can you pay? How you can also be able to pay for your card, for your train ticket, just basing on the example of how money has evolved, is as follows. So I've talked about cash, I've talked about card payment, and on card payment you can also decide to use it on credit card. So on credit card, in this case, you're actually using borrowed funds, not necessarily your funds, but borrowed funds. So you're either going to pay with interest or non-interest amount for that case. So it's up to you to choose how you want to make a payment. So you can either claim it by credit or debit card in your account. The most interesting thing I want to talk about is credit is using things like Klarna, Afterpay, among others, which have actually come up, which are making it easy for people to do the day-to-day activity without necessarily having to use your physical cash or card or money basically in your account to make this transaction. So it basically makes it easy for you to have those payments. So sorry, I'm looking around because I'm checking if my train is coming. Most importantly, the other thing I also want to discuss about is they have come up now with what we call train cards. For these train cards, you can decide to either top it up in advance. That means you have enough units for you to be able to travel whatever time and period that you really want to travel. Makes it easy. That means you already have a stored value with the train station or a prepaid account, if I can call it that way. And you can tap it anytime, anywhere, and you can move on the go. The other thing they've also come up with is physical scratch cards, if you can call it a scratch card, where you can actually just scratch and pay for your goods. My train is coming, you can pay for it. So that's basically how you're able to pay currently. The other option you can also decide to do is pay using you can pay later. Yeah, you can pay later. Possibly you can actually be able to pay later for that service. That means you don't necessarily have to wait for everything to happen for you to be that's my train. So.
Right. This is the service to Bishop Stortford. Next station, Harlow Town.
Yeah, as I was saying, so technology is really evolved. So I'm already in my
Welcome to
train.
this service for
Sorry
Bishop
about that. I'm
Stortford.
actually moving.
We will be calling at
Something else that I wanted to say about how money has evolved is that and how this is where fintech really comes in, is how it has made it easy to pay using various channels. So like a train now is more of a biller, if I can call it that way, where it's a billable bill where you can have a monthly debit in your account and you have it deducted from your account either using the EAC option or the faster payment method, and this amount actually credited directly into the train account. That means you're actually a customer on credit in the train station. So there are various ways how fintech has actually transformed how and the way we actually using technology to advance ways of living, to advance ways of making money. So as I've always said, from the floor to fintech.
We are now approaching.
From the floor to fintech podcast is all about how to move from non-traditional fintech background and get into the fintech space without hassle or bustle. And if you're a founder, if you're a SDR, if you're an account manager in the fintech, I would love to have a discussion with you to discuss what are you doing in the fintech spaces that can be interesting to me and my guests who are watching this show, and they'll be more of an eye opener even for them to know how they can be able to join in the fintech space with less, of a hassle of getting to this space. Majority of the people feel this space is actually for the privileged few, which I believe it's not. And being a fintech guy, being there for the last 15 years, I can help you get there. So share this video with the founders, SDR, account managers, product managers, the techie guys. What are you doing? Let's come and have a discussion on this podcast. And this is episode 3. See you on episode 4. From the floor to fintech. And this is your host for the most, God the OG. See you next.